Hi, everyone. This is Cynthia Gwiazda from the Hagaman Memorial Library. I'd like to talk with you today about some of our titles that we've just gotten in for this month in October for adult fiction. So, without further ado, I'm going to share with you some of our new titles that you can check out by visiting our website at www.hagamanlibrary.org. Or you can call the library at 203-468-3890 and request the books as well. Okay, so our October reads for new fiction. The first book I'd like to share with you is These Ghosts Are Family by Maisie Card. Stanford Solomon's shocking 30-year-old secret is about to change the lives of everyone around him. Stanford has done something no one could ever imagine. He's a man who faked his own death and stole the identity of his best friend. Stanford Solomon is actually Abel Paisley. And now, nearing the end of his life, Stanford is about to meet his firstborn daughter, Irene, a home health aide who has unwittingly shown up for her first day of work to tend to the father that she thought was dead. These Ghosts Are Family revolves around the consequences of Abel's decision and tells the story of the Paisley family from colonial Jamaica to present-day Harlem. There is Vera, whose widowhood forced her into the role of a single mother. There are 2 daughters and a granddaughter who have never known they are related, and there are others, like the houseboy who loved Vera, whose lives might have taken different courses if not for Abel Paisley's actions. These Ghosts explores the ways each character wrestles with their ghosts and struggles to forge independent identities outside of the family and their trauma. The result is a portrait of a family and individuals caught in the sweep of history, slavery, migration, and the more personal dramas of infidelity, lost love, and regret. So that's These Ghosts Are Family, Maisie Card. The next that I'd like to talk to you about is The Margot Affair by Saine Limoni. Margot Love is a secret, the child of a long-standing affair between an influential French politician with presidential ambitions and a prominent stage actress. This hidden family exists in stolen moments in a small Parisian apartment on the left bank. It is a courage that Margot, fueled by a longing to be seen in her, decides to tumble. The summer of her 17th birthday, she meets the man who will set her plan in motion, a well-regarded journalist whose trust seems surprisingly easy to gain. But as Margot is drawn into an adult world she struggles to comprehend, she learns how one impulsive decision can threaten a family's love with ruin, shattering the lives of those around her in ways she could never have imagined. Exposing the seams between private lives and public faces, The Margot Affair is a novel of deceit, desire, and transgression, and the exhilarating knife edge upon which the danger of telling the truth outweighs the cost of keeping secrets. That's called The Margot Affair by Saine Lemoine. Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. He's the author of A Man Called Ovi. Looking at real estate isn't usually a life or death situation, but an apartment open house becomes just that when a failed bank robber bursts in and takes a group of strangers hostage. The captives include a recently retired couple who relentlessly hunt down fixer-uppers to avoid the painful truth that they can't fix their own marriage. There's a wealthy bank director who has been care about anyone else, and a young couple who are about to have their first child, but can't seem to agree on anything, from where they want to live to how they met in the first place. Add to the mix an 87-year-old woman who has lived long enough not to be afraid of someone waving a gun in her face, a flustered but still ready to make a deal real estate agent, and a mystery man who has locked himself in the apartment's only bathroom, and you've got the worst group of hostages in the world. Each of them carries a lifetime of grievances, hurts, secrets, and passions that are ready to boil over. None of them is entirely who they appear to be, and all of them, the bank robber included, desperately crave some sort of rescue. As the authorities and the media surround the premises, these reluctant allies will reveal surprising truths about themselves and set in motion a chain of events so unexpected that even they can hardly explain what happens next. That's Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. The Pull of Stars by Emma Donoghue. In Dublin, 1918, a maternity ward at the height of the Great Flu is a small world of work, risk, death, and unlooked-for love. According to Kirkus Reviews, Donoghue's best novel since Room. In an Ireland doubly ravaged by war and disease, Nurse Julia Power works at an understaffed hospital in the city center, where expectant mothers who have come down with the terrible new flu are quarantined together. Into Julia's regimented world step two outsiders, Dr. Kathleen Lynn, a rumored rebel on the run from the police, and a young volunteer helper, Bridie Sweeney. In the darkness and intensity of this teeny ward, over 3 days, these women change each other's lives in unexpected ways. They lose patience to this baffling pandemic, but they also shepherd new life into a fearful world. With tireless tenderness and humanity, carers and mothers alike somehow do their impossible work. In The Pull of the Stars, Emma Donoghue once again finds the light in the darkness in this new classic of hope and survival against all odds. That's The Pull of Stars by Emma Donoghue, the author of Room. A Saint from Texas by Edmund White. Yvette and Yvonne Crawford are twin sisters born on a humble patch of East Texas prairie, but bound for far more dramatic and tragic fates. Just as an untold fortune of oil lies beneath their daddy's land, both girls harbor their own secrets and dreams, ones that will carry them far from Texas and from each other. As the decades unfold, Yvonne will ascend the highest ranks of Parisian society, as Yvette gives herself to a lifetime of worship and service in the streets of Jericho, Columbia. And yet, even as they remake themselves in their radically different lives, the twins find that the bonds of family and the past are unbreakable. 1950s to the recent past, Edmund White's marvelous novel serves up an immensely pleasurable epic of two Texas women as their lives traverse varied worlds, the swaggering opulence of the Dallas Nouveau Riche, the airless pretension of the Paris Gratin, and the strict piety of a Colombian convent. For nearly half a century, Edmund White's work has revitalized American literature, blithely breaking down boundaries of class and sexuality, and A Saint from Texas is one of his most joyous, gorgeously written, and piercing works to date. That's A Saint from Texas by Edmund White. By Christina Baker Klein. Seduced by her employer's son, Evangeline, a naive young governess in early 19th century London, is discharged when her pregnancy is discovered, and she's sent to the notorious Newgate prison. After months in the fetid, overcrowded jail, she learns she's sentenced to the land beyond the seas, Van Diemen's Land, a penal colony in Australia. Though uncertain of what awaits, Evangeline knows one thing: the child she carries will be born on the months-long voyage to this distant land. Though Australia has been home to Aboriginal people for more than 50,000 years, the British government in the 1840s considers its fledgling colony uninhabited and unsettled, and views the natives as an unpleasant nuisance. By the time the Medea arrives, many of them have been forcibly relocated, their land seized by white colonists. One of these relocated people is Mathena, the orphan daughter of the chief of the Lorraine tribe, who has been adopted by the new governor of Van Diemen's Land. While life in Australia is punishing and often brutally unfair, it is also for some an opportunity for redemption, for a new way of life, for unimagined freedom. Told in exquisite detail and incisive prose, The Exiles is a story of grace, from hardship, the unbreakable bonds of female friendships, and the unfettering of legacy. That's The Exiles by Christina Baker Klein. Book of Longings by Sue Monk Kidd. Sue Monk Kidd takes an audacious, mesmerizing approach to history and brings her acclaimed narrative gifts to imagine the story of a young woman named Anna, raised in a wealthy family with ties to the ruler of Galilee. She is rebellious and ambitious, with a brilliant mind and a daring spirit. She engages in furtive scholarly pursuits and writes narratives about neglected and silenced women. Anna is expected to marry an older widower, a prospect that horrifies her. An encounter with 18-year-old Jesus changes everything. Their marriage evolves with love and conflict, humor and pathos in Nazareth, where Anna makes a home with Jesus, his brothers, and their mother Mary. Anna's pent-up longings intensify amid the turbulent resistance to Rome's occupation of Israel, partially led by her brother Judas. She's sustained by her fearless aunt Yaltha, who harbors a compelling secret. When Anna commits a brazen act that puts her in peril, she flees Alexandria, where startling revelations and greater dangers unfold, and she finds refuge in unexpected surroundings. Anna determines her fate during a stunning convergence of events, considered among the most impactful in human history. Grounded in meticulous research and written with a reverential approach to Jesus' life that focuses on his humanity, the Book of Longings is an inspiring, unforgettable account of one woman's bold struggle to realize the passion and potential inside her, while living in a time, place, and culture devised to silence her. It's a triumph of storytelling, both timely and timeless, from a masterful writer at the height of her powers. The Book of Longings by Sue Monk Kidd. And that concludes our presentation of available at the Hagaman Memorial Library. I hope that you will give us a call at 203-468-3890 to request some of these titles, and also check out our website at www.hagaman.org, and you can click on My Account and put in your library barcode number from the back of your library card. And you can reserve these titles directly through our catalog on our website as well. So I hope you will take a look at these books, and I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. And thank you very much. Okay.